All right. I am back live tonight. It's Chris with Anecdote of a Houndsman. We are back from the holidays, and I did not do one last week because of holidays. Did a little bit of hunting, didn't get too much. Trained my little dog Stinker. Tonight, we're going to talk about the wolves. I got a few people coming on. Jared Fisher is supposed to jump on. Justin with Cold Strike said he's going to try to jump on. I'm trying to get a rancher from Colorado to jump on, talk about the wolves. I think when was it, December 19th? They let a couple wolves go. There's a lot of controversy over the wolves. So when I get my panel here and on, kind of short notice, I didn't know if I was going to do one tonight or not. But I am back. We did not get to do a live Monday with Brett because he got busy, but we are here tonight. And as soon as my panel gets on, we'll chit chat. And if you have anything to say about them wolves they let go in Colorado, whatever you want to call it. So 2 wolves released December 19th in Grand County, Colorado. 2302 OR, which is supposed to be a juvenile female, 68 pounds, and 2303 from Oregon, I believe, too, a juvenile male, 76 pounds. There's a little secret about these wolves they let go. They, I think both of these, I think they've let go maybe 10 so far. Let me read you this little, there's a good article on, I got 2 computers going. There's 2 recently released wolves in Colorado come from depredating packs in Oregon. So not only are they putting wolves, transporting them over to Colorado, they're taking wolves that have been proven to kill cattle and other things in the woods. 2 wolves released on December 19th in Grand County, Colorado. 2302 OR, a juvenile female, black color, 68 pounds. 2303 OR, a juvenile male, gray in color. I'm gonna get to you, Louisiana guy. Investigating 5 Points pack wolves injured 1 calf and killed another in separate depredations in July of 2023. Killed a cow on December 5th, 22, and injured a 900-pound yearling heifer July 17th. So not only are they taking wolves out of Oregon, they're taking wolves that's already killed livestock out of Oregon and putting them in Colorado. That's a bad word, Jeremy. Problems for someone else. I don't think you guys have wolves in Louisiana, do you, Jeremy? And this right here, there's an article. There's an article that Kat, I don't know how to say her last name. Let me read it so I don't butcher it. Kat Urbigkit. Your Big Kit. Urbigkit. She wrote an article about this. Everybody's saying she wrote a good article about the release, and then she got hammered for being an anti-wolf. But she kind of wrote another article about the SSS. For those touting SSS, realize what you are promoting is citizens becoming vigilantes, which tends to happen when the government steps in. I meant Z's. No, you didn't. I think you know what you meant. Oh, look, guys, there's my wife watching me. Oh, Jared's coming in. There's Jared. There's Jared.
Bam. Yep.
I'm only 3 comments in, and someone's already SSS. And that's what everybody feels it is, and it right now that's literally the N word in the wolf community. It's everybody's kind of against it because it shows us being ignorant about it, but a lot of those people who are ignorant about it know a rancher dealt with the wolves. there's just nothing good that comes from the wolves except for the publicity of how great they are. What do you think there, Mr. Jarrett? See, you're South Arizona, and we have Mexican wolves in North Arizona that they reintroduced. The wolves they put over here are all them big wolves. The what are they? Canada wolves or?
Yeah, so those ones are the Canadian gray wolf that they reintroduced to Colorado. So I lived in Montana for 3 years, and those dogs are big.
They are big. These are supposed to be yearlings, and they've misconstrued a little bit about the ages of these, calling them yearlings, and one of them is 20 months old. And all these ones they release, they've already killed livestock.
Well, yeah, for one, if they're yearlings, you got to consider it's a yearling, just like a yearling mountain lion.
Mm-hmm.
How old are the problem lions that happen?
Well, these ones aren't yearlings. They were like 20 months old. There's a really good article.
Predators hang out with their parents until they're 2, and wolves usually never leave until they're old enough to breed, like the males, right?
Yeah.
So dad kicks them out. So that's 2 years old. So they don't even know how to hunt yet. So it's like a problem lion that's a year and a half old killing goats or whatever in a pen. It's the same thing. They don't know how to hunt. They don't know what they're doing. They don't know how to work together. So of course you're going to have problems right away.
Right away. Well, these ones had problems before they had problems in Oregon. These were already confirmed cow killers, livestock killers in Oregon. So they take them out of Oregon. And I think that pack that, let me look it up. It's the High Point pack. Is that the one?
Yeah.
Colorado completed. Well, let me find it here. It is Park and Wildlife. Well, they're coming from a 5 Points pack. Okay. And they already killed a bunch of those that were killing stuff. So they take these two out of that pack and put them somewhere else. What do they think? That's how they learn to hunt. You know, when you grow up being a carpenter, your dad's a carpenter, you're going to know how to do carpentry.
Yep, exactly.
So that's the problem. But it's not like they just raised them in a pen and fed them meat. I think that's what they did down in Arizona, down Alpine Unit 27. They had them in that pen for a little while, and then they just let them go. Yep. But I don't understand is they already had confirmed wolves in Colorado, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, in northern Colorado they did. Because you got Wyoming right there.
Yeah.
And it's just another way for, I don't want to say liberals, but the wolf people, anti-hunters, nature lovers, whatever you want to call them, their end goal is to remove all hunting. They want an animal utopia, which means all the animals self-regulate themselves, which it works. Don't get me wrong, it worked back when there was no
Yellowstone.
one here.
Yellowstone, they try to use Yellowstone as an example where they had 18,000 or 16,000 elk, and then they introduced wolves. Now the herd's down to 8,000, but they think the wolves are just going to stop at 8,000.
Well, they don't, and they're trying to make an animal utopia and get rid of hunting and all this stuff, but you can't get rid of hunting or any of that because you have the influence of people now. I mean, look how many rich cocksuckers live in the mountains.
Oh, yeah.
Or people like you and me who bought some acreage and were just like, yep, I'm just going to start working on it, put up animals, livestock. So we're encroaching on them, and obviously we're going to have conflicts unless they're managed.
It's the same with Arizona. It kind of drives me. Like, I take advantage of the OTC, the over-the-counter elk.
Yeah.
And it's right in my backyard. Like, I can go in my backyard. but it's because of a golf course and a little farm there. And when I talked to the game warden, I said, when you put a golf course in elk country or alfalfa field, you're gonna have elk. But the theory behind that was this North Arizona wasn't elk country a while ago, but it's not that way no more. It is elk country now, and no matter how many you kill out of my backyard, they're still going to migrate over. Elk are migrating animals.
Oh yeah.
Wolves are migrating animals. Some of those I think in Colorado is a female out of another pack in Oregon or somewhere, and it traveled, or not Oregon, maybe I don't remember. I just read it today, but it's 400 miles away from where.
Oh yeah.
She was.
They killed a wolf in Britton, South Dakota when I was in high school. Britton, South Dakota is, I don't know, 6 hours, 7 hours from Montana and 4 or 5 hours away from the Minnesota wolf country.
Yeah.
Wisconsin wolf country. They're migrating animals, especially the young males. I mean, they get hurt, knocked, bigger male comes in, pushes them around, they're gonna leave. They have to. And then they're gonna start migrating. And then who knows, they might bump into a wandering female, and then all of a sudden you got a breeding pair in bumfuck somewhere, Kansas.
Well, if you type in Donnie Vincent on wolves, listen to that guy on Joe Rogan.
Oh, he was a biologist. Did you know that? He studied the Indian tigers for years.
No, he lives out there.
Yeah.
He talks about them wolves and that female wolf coming in 2.5 feet, and then the male howling outside his tent, and how the lions were killing. They trailed them to 7 or 9 kills because the lions were killing more because the wolves would eat the kills, so it would kind of stay ahead of it, kill, so it could actually eat in peace, basically.
Yep.
So, don't sound like a good idea, and and the way they did it in Colorado was really sneaky. They only had 45 people that were invited. The cattlemen were at a meeting with the Colorado wildlife and whatever, and they told them in the middle of the meeting that they released wolves. They kept the site a secret. If it's such a big deal, why is it so secretive? That's kind of what you need to know too.
Everything is so backdoor now when it comes to politics. I mean, look at the lion hunt in Utah. No one knew that was going to happen until pretty much all we had to do was hope for the governor to veto it.
And that's a dream. That's a houndsman dream, to just be able to go hunt. But we also know as a houndsman that it's the worst idea ever.
Because, it's, to me, with the Utah deal is, I'd love it if, Nevada's like that kind of. I mean, we're year-round, 24/7, 365 in Nevada. But there's not hound guys across, there's a good number of hound guys. But Utah, you could be filling up in a gas station in Utah, and you'll see 7 hound rigs hitting one mountain range.
Yeah.
And if you have one out of those 7 houndsmen is a killer and just wants to knock everything out, it won't take long to clean that mountain range out.
Well, free reign is definitely no good. And when those numbers drop, and I don't understand, what was their reasoning behind that? Does anybody know?
So supposedly a big-time outfitter did it. A big-time outfitter lobbied it, and then the sheep herders kind of were part of it too, I heard the rumor right. And the governor's part of a sheep family, so it's not like he was going to veto it. That's going to make for an awkward Christmas. So it was just one of those things. And, but back to the wolves, I've seen wolves in Montana when I lived there. We'd go try to go lion hunt. I never caught a mountain lion in Montana because every time I'd just run into a wolf or I wouldn't find a track. I was pretty bad at it in Montana. I was no good. I hated the deep snow. But I remember one time we caught this female lion track late in the day and a bobcat track right with her. And I was like, we'll come in tomorrow and we'll loop around and see if we can't find her again. And the next day, everything's gone. The deer are gone. The coyotes are gone. Never found her or the bobcat again, but there were wolf tracks everywhere.
Yeah. They'll run them out. Just like a good, if you're I hunt Globe, Arizona, and I'll know when there's a line in there because I don't see a deer. I won't sit up and scope a deer at all, glass up, nothing. But I guarantee you, if I can't glass a deer in a certain area, you go down in the bottom and you'll find a lion track.
Oh yeah.
They push them out. And I have you hunted alpine at all down in Unit 27?
That's funny. I gotta go do a hunt next week in alpine.
Yep.
Remember that hunt I told you about?
Oh yeah. I thought you didn't like snow.
I don't, but
it's gonna snow.
I got my guy's license, and these guys want to kill one in the snow, so it's just like.
You didn't even know how to hunt that?
Me? I've been up there a couple times. Huh?
I've never had problem with wolves, and I don't think I've heard of too many problems with wolves up there. But there are wolves.
There are wolves, but they're 65-pounders.
Yeah.
I mean, I got a couple males that are that big.
Yeah, you don't see them Mexican wolves really packing up and beating stuff up as bad as those northern wolves, timber wolves, and the gray wolves.
It could be because they're desert dogs. I mean, animals in the desert do not get into big groups.
Yeah.
I mean, just look at the coyote packs down here in southern Arizona, 4, maybe 5.
Yeah. Except breeding season.
Like
that's the only time you see.
Yeah. And you get up into South Dakota where I coyote hunted. Shoot, I'd call in one stand. I called in 16 dogs into one stand.
Especially during breeding season, anywhere from October to February.
Yeah.
I went into a field one time and seen 12. That's just running around, not even calling them in. So, but in summer, you don't see them packed up in the summer though.
No, because it's hot, and I think because they're desert animals are just desolate, and they're always spread out 10 times more than what the northern animals are. Like, go up in the northern country. There's a lion that lived in Montana that I hunted, and guaranteed if I went in there, I could find his track in this one canyon twice a week. Our days never lined up, but I could always go in there and find a different set of his tracks once to twice a week. Now go do that down here in Nevada. Nevada's terrible. When I ran trail cameras in Nevada for lions, I'd have a tom cross one spot once every 20 to 38 days. You know what I mean? It's, but you get up in that north country where their animals are more prevalent, the herds are a little bit bigger, all that stuff, they don't have to travel this far. They can have tighter areas.
They have no wolves in Nevada, right?
Huh?
There's no wolves in Nevada, is there, on the upper part?
I've heard there's some up and out by Jarbidge, Nevada, that way up north of Elko, where they're seeing moose. But that's it. They're definitely not a breeding pair there.
Another Jared. I have so many Jareds.
Man.
I don't know this one very well, so you're going to have to introduce yourself.
Jared Jensen out of Craig, Colorado, owner of Jake's Land Company.
I'm sure you have an opinion on them wolves.
We was the ones that found the first 5 up there on Black Mountain. And then we had some people we knew that shot them last year when they crossed the border.
Oh, yeah, because you can hunt them right across the border.
Yeah, we got properties right on the border.
And you run cattle up there, do you not?
Yeah, about 300.
Yeah. So what's going on with all that?
Well, we're just getting ready to watch them die here shortly. These wolves are horrible.
Well, what I was talking about already in the beginning is not only did they transport these wolves out of Oregon, but they're all proven. I think out of the 10 that are there was only 2 that haven't killed livestock in Oregon.
We took Oregon's problems. That was the plan for Colorado the whole time. It's all about shutting hunting down. So that's
the main goal.
Say that again.
You think that's the main goal?
Oh, 100%. I mean, Colorado State Parks, they already said that they intend on the next couple of years cutting tags by 25% to take care of the dead loss from the wolves. They've already put that in action.
Well, I understand about that too is they say, oh, we need to drop the herds or there's too many like they did in Yellowstone, but why don't you just
there ain't too many now.
Oh,
our herd, the winter just destroyed our herds. Mm-hmm. I mean, we got one of my neighbors, well, all my neighbors, they had 250 tags on the field this year, which never happens. I mean, we were down probably 80% deer and elk. And I mean, we seen it was bad. And we're 5 to 6 years that they quit killing cows, period, to get back to normal.
Yeah. Well, it's not going to, I think a couple of them wolves that they already had there, they didn't transport, and they came like 400 miles away. Right? I
got a picture of one with a collar, and CPW just ignored it, like it didn't exist, but they know where they come from. Yeah. But
I read. Go ahead.
But if you look back December 18th, they got a news article. They actually, one of the ranchers shot one on Wyoming side and just left it, killed it on its neighbor's property and just left it there. And they are pissed off right now.
Because he left it?
Well, he didn't acknowledge he shot it, but we're not stupid. But you just shoot him away. But
yeah, it's hard not to throw around the shoot, shovel, and shut up stuff. Everybody's going to do it.
Well, they need to be doing it more. I mean, at least a car ran one over like last week. So one got killed on the highway. So that was good. This other wolf was a collared wolf, but I don't know where it come from. But they were over there on my property with helicopters, not on my property, but more to the east, trying to chase them back to Routt County. They were just headed home is what I believe.
Oh, yeah.
Which is good because they can all get shot in Wyoming. But, well, that's how it goes.
You think it's going to get out of control?
No, well, not unless we take care of the problem.
Yeah.
I see Fish and Game. I mean, they told me straight up how they catch poachers. They just they triangulate every cell phone that was in the area when they find a dead deer, and they pull up everybody's cell phones and start knocking on doors. And so, if you're going to shoot one, you better not have a cell phone on you.
I'm a private investigator.
So you know all about that.
I know all about that stuff.
Yep. But see,
95% of the people that get caught committing crimes is by their cell phone. Yep.
And see, for me, I mean, one of my guides up in Alaska to come down where we found them 5 wolves. He says the best way to get rid of a wolf is shoot it in the back leg. The pack will kill it. A wounded wolf doesn't last more than a day in the group. If it's weak, it dies.
Yeah.
So that's how it works. But I mean, the wolves will kill the mountain lions too. So we got way too many mountain lions, but that'll be done and over with in 2 years. Bobcat and mountain lion hunting will be done in Colorado and bears.
Yeah.
And then there'll be nothing left.
Utah's not doing real good with their freebie mountain lion, kill whatever you can.
Well, I understand it, but I don't agree with it, but I do. Because the reason is, one, Utah wants their deer herd back because everybody's complaining in elk herd. There's nothing to hunt or shoot it. And the apex predators got way out of control. So now my buddies are, I mean, he catches mountain lions every day. He goes out, but he won't kill one. And he won't say where they're at for obvious reasons, because he likes to chase them. But when they go to Colorado, we kill every one of them. I mean, that's just how it goes.
Well, it's funny. I just read an article today by that cat gal, Cat Herbicket, and she was talking about, let me see here, let me get to it. The rewards are ridiculous on it. There's more reward for a dead wolf than there is a dead kid.
Then a dead what?
Oh, there's more reward for a dead wolf than there is for a dead child or a missing child.
Oh, what's the rewards now if you catch somebody shooting one?
I know, and that guy just posted, Chaos AD just posted that just down here in Arizona, it's $15,000 reward for info on a missing hiker, $30,000 reward for info on a wolf killed 20 years ago.
That tells you something.
That tells you something.
Yeah.
And the cat was saying, let me see if I can find it. She had some numbers in here that were, there it is. Wildlife poaching isn't justice, and proposing the triple S is incredibly stupid and dangerous. Illegally killing a wolf in Colorado is punishable by a fine up to $100,000 and a jail sentence of up to a year. You know, they just want their money. They don't care about the year. If you're a rancher with public lands grazing permits, you could lose those too. If you're a hunter, you could lose your hunting privilege in Colorado for life.
Yep.
They love them wolves.
Well, it's not going to quit. The whole, just Colorado Springs and Denver can outvote the whole state. So that's why I saw fishing game, it was yesterday. They're already planning on cutting all mountain lion, bobcat, and bear hunts out in 2 years. That's their plan. And they're all on gag orders. They can't talk about they already fired one fishing game officer out here in the Northwest for bitching about the wolves. They let him go. You are to shut up and do your job. But anyways, that's how it goes.
That is how it goes. You know, in Arizona, we got the game warden. He said, the Arizona Game and Fish said, absolutely not. We don't want them here. And the federal came in and said, listen, they're going to be there. So you're either on board and help, or you're off board and you don't get no say in nothing.
Yeah.
So they kind of threaten them. And, they threatened them with the federal funding and all that good stuff.
Well, Colorado just needs to put a wolf impact fee for the people who might shoot them for a defense.
So you have you got Colorado who's releasing wolves. You got Colorado who's fighting the not being able to hunt. It's the typical not being able to hunt the bobcat lion and everything. In Arizona, they came after the dogs the last time. They just wanted dogs to be illegal.
Yeah.
So.
Well, they won't quit coming. They get one at a time. It's like the Second Amendment. Every time they pull something away from magazines, the kinds of rounds you can shoot, it's just violating your Second Amendment. So it is what it is.
What do they call it over there? It was like 176 times on the wolf plan. They mentioned conflict minimization.
Yeah, donkeys. Yeah, that's going to work. Guns, hazing. Didn't do nothing. They killed that guy's over there in Trembling. Shit, they think they killed 5 of his cows with fish and game officers there. I mean, you can't stop them. I mean, they're a predator. We got rid of them for a reason.
That's exactly why they were eradicated.
Exactly.
Yep. So what's the solution?
You kill them. Yeah. I know that sounds horrible, but if you want to have hunting and fishing, they got to be shot. Yeah. And you ain't gonna be able to do it. If you get Trump in and he takes them off the protected list, then they'll start getting hunted. But not in Colorado, but they'll start wiping them out in other areas. One of my guides is starting to do wolf hunts in Wyoming, and they actually tell them where the wolves are at right now, but where you can't hunt in the national parks because they want every one of them dead.
Yeah, because those numbers like tripled quick.
Well,
you know what I mean? Like they tripled quick.
Well, if they have a litter every year and there's only 5 of them, that's 30 new pups a year, 15 females. They'll be breeding the next year, so 15 has 6 more. It'll extrapolate huge in 5 years, and after that, you'll never control them. But it is what it is.
Yeah, Arizona, we just have the Mexican gray wolf.
Yep.
That's what I was asking Jared up there. That if he's seen any down in South Arizona, because they're Mexican gray wolves. So shouldn't they be coming out Mexico? Like, is that their? How many do they have down there?
I saw a group of 5 or 6 last spring, and obviously what I was told is they're not down here. You know,
That too.
and I was.
I think it's Jared's phone.
Oh,
What's it doing?
Echoing?
Oh, it must
Could
be
be
his.
mine.
I don't know whose phone it is.
I have crappy service everywhere I go.
Is that mine if I say that?
I think it's your phone, Jared. That one. That Jared.
Me?
No.
Oh.
This one.
How's that?
I think it went away. Yeah, it went away.
Okay, try that.
It didn't. It's there.
No.
Someone mentioned it.
Well, there ain't much you can do about it. I mean, we got 4 ranches over there, and we know that they won't be hunting here shortly. Yeah. I mean, if we didn't have the bad winter, it'd be longer, but these animals are going to kill everything between the mountain lions and the bears. And we got the coyotes are overrunning our place too. Kids are too lazy to go out and hunt anymore.
That's a fact.
I was on Ranch World 4 days ago, and there's 5 outfitting businesses for sale with their permits in Colorado.
Oh, there'll probably be more than that shortly.
Yep.
But a lot of that has to do with the winter kill.
Yeah.
But see, with their permits, they're hunting on public. And they're cutting the public hunts huge.
Okay.
They're not going to cut ours because they have to pay fence damages.
Gotcha.
So our numbers are going to stay the same, but the public's getting smashed.
Gotcha.
But that's what they're doing here. But like I say, you can fight it, but even when the judge threw the TRO out saying it was going to impact our lives as ranchers, they didn't care. So
they don't care.
No, you won't get them to care. They have the votes. What can you do? I mean,
well, that's the bad thing. Is it's a ballot initiative and it's stupid.
Well,
that's the stupidest way to do animals.
But see, Colorado, they need to put it back on the ballot to remove the wolves. Mm-hmm. We have conservationists are just lazy. 192,000 signatures qualifies to be on a ballot initiative. Why didn't we do it to vote on it in November? Because we're all too busy with jobs, not living off the government. Mm-hmm. That's the fact of the matter.
And they like to come at us in the fall when we're all hunting.
Yep. Well,
just like in Greer. Remember that stupid commissions meeting they had in Greer?
Yep.
A week before rifle elk started. It was during the archery elk season.
Was that on a weekend?
It was on a Friday, and it was opening day.
That's just called intelligence on their part. As bad as I hate to say it, they're smart.
They know what they're doing.
Yeah, there ain't nothing. Like I say, you got to outvote them or just deal with it. But it is what it is.
Maybe it's my mind.
Yep.
But anywho, well, that's my little spiel. But I got to get running. But
we're glad you came on.
Yep. We have you a good evening.
Thanks,
You
Jared.
too, sir.
I think it's his phone.
Could have been.
I think it is. It was echoing real bad. So he's a rancher in Colorado.
Okay, here, hold on 1 second. I got to run into the gas station and eat. I haven't ate yet today.
Always belling on us.
I'll be right back.
All right. There goes the other Jared to go get something to eat. Whiny baby. Timothy Brink. This right here is getting so much traffic, SSS, because let me read you another thing. This I like this girl, Kat Urban. She writes for the Cowboy State Daily. Kat Urbikit. Urbikit. If you just look up Kat, CAT Urbigkit, Urbigkit. I posted it on my Facebook. Cowboy State Daily. She writes for the Cowboy State Daily. So, she talks about for those touting SSS, realize that what you are promoting is citizens becoming vigilantes. But that's how everybody feels, you know. There's no reason they need to introduce these wolves. I don't think the science is there to say it's any better, but they'll make it there. Here's a question. How many of you guys seen bobtail? I've shot a few bobtail coyotes. So, but Molly says that there was a couple of them there. Out of the same litter, maybe. That or they both got their tails shut off. But there you go, Ryan. I think it was the other Jared's phone. Varmints were removed for a reason. That's a fact. All the grizzly bears were killed out of Arizona. All the wolves were removed, eradicated out of Arizona for a reason. And they talk about, maybe, I never said I was a good shot. I shot their tails off. They talk about Yellowstone where they had like 16 or 18,000 elk and the wolves came in, now they're down to 8,000. To me, that's nothing to be proud about. I'd rather, instead of feed the wolves, get some tags, let people hunt on there and grab some elk off of that. Fill your freezer, but nope. In Idaho, we can buy up to 10 or 15 tags a year for wolves. That's because they get out of control. Absolutely get out of control. I have a guy coming on from Utah. I wanted him to kind of talk about it. We'll see if he'll make it tonight. So all these bordering states, you can, like Wyoming, they're shooting them on this border. And I think I read something where they had shot one that was supposed to be in a protected zone, and it's not. It's over on that side, so everybody just waits for them to shoot on that side. Anybody else have any problem with wolves? Throw them in the comments there. But the wolf thing's a problem. It was a real sneaky way they did it. All the cattlemen were at a meeting. They released these wolves in a secret spot. They said someone in handwritten, not far from where they dumped the wolves, handwritten on a post office wall, kind of ratted out where the location was. That cat gal wrote about it. Two of the wolves. Let me see. It wasn't until the end of the week. So these wolves too, they let go. If you just got on, are out of a pack that was already killing livestock. So they took wolves that were killing livestock and put them in Colorado out of Oregon. So when you take some wolves that are already killing livestock, put them in another state where there's livestock, what do you think's going to happen? Let me see here. After the first 5 wolves were released, Colorado Parks and Wildlife, CPW, issued a press release providing the details about the 5 wolves, stating that 4 juvenile wolves were released alongside an adult male wolf. I think this was they classified the juvenile wolves were actually 20 months old. So they're almost 2 years old. So they're not really under, they called them yearlings, but they weren't yearlings. Let me see here. And the governor, what is the governor doing about it? So there was 45 people invited to the wolf relief in Colorado release. And I don't think the governor was one of them. Nobody knew about it. They released it. Let's see if I can find the release location had been kept secret. The pool report noted because state wildlife officials may reuse the release site and is concerned about protesters or the public attempting to stop or watch future releases. But within a few hours, the location was posted on a handwritten sign outside a post office not far from the release site. So someone was a snitch that was there and let it go. That's why Louisiana doesn't have red wolves, lions, and the reason they reintroduced the black bears, old timers knew what they were doing. So the red wolf, aren't they rebuilding that? Oh, that cat Urbikit just messaged me. I invited her on, but she couldn't. She's recommending this Rachel Gable, which got a lot of criticism. Rachel Gable got a lot of criticism. She wrote a good article in the Fence Post. Recently released wolves in the Colorado come from depredating packs in Oregon. There he is. I posted that in the links on this description in this live. I posted those two articles from Cowboy State Daily. Let's eat a pizza right in front of us. Thanks.
Yeah, dude.
I don't know. My mommy made me
During the
pork
day.
chops and potatoes and salad.
No, I'm a
Rolls.
fatty at heart.
So if you go in the description of this, you'll find the articles from Cat Urbikit. I hope I'm not murdering that name. I'm sure it's Urbikit. The Botched Optics of Colorado's Wolf Release on the Cowboy State Daily. Go check that out. Go down in my description, and it's posted in there. And the Fence Post, recently released wolves into Colorado come from depredating packs in Oregon, from Rachel Gable. I'll try to get her on. I've been in touch with the Colorado Cattlemens Association. Those guys get hammered. Some say they're worthless, some don't, but they're the ones kind of trying to fight it a little bit. So, 2 mouses. Let me see here. In South Carolina is the only ones left. Yeah, and they didn't. Maybe on Stephen Rennell, his meat eater. I think they did a thing on the red wolves where they basically picked the calmest ones and rebred them. I'll have to look that up. That was a pretty good podcast. So, wolves, no good. Right, Jared?
No, I mean, just look at what happened in 1998 in Yellowstone.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was a bad winter in Yellowstone, and they didn't have any calves make it through the winter. For one, because of the winter, and second of all, wolves can run on top of snow. Elk can't.
Unfair chase.
When they start pushing with their chest with snow and the wolves are running on top, it don't take long. And the calves are going to die. They got shorter legs. They're not going to hold up.
Yeah. Well, it's hard enough holding up in the winter, but when you're running them through that snow.
Yep.
Jeremy Fryer. Wolves in California are going to be a problem because as of right now, there's 7 confirmed packs. They grow quick, and there's really nothing you can do about it. They put these towards ballot initiatives, and the ballot initiatives look super. I just seen their advertisements on it, and it's bring the howl back to Colorado or bring the howl back here, you know. But these are all people who sit in their cozy homes. It's just like that Tahoe, right? The bear sanctuary. You know,
I got plastered all over Tahoe one time because I killed a bear with an ear tag.
Yeah.
Out of Tahoe. Mind you, this bear I killed was probably, the way the crow flies, 40 miles away from Tahoe, 60 miles away from Tahoe.
Mm-hmm.
But its mom died in Tahoe when it was a cub.
Yeah.
And then it got bigger, and they transplanted it into the desert where the units are open.
Yeah.
And I ended up killing it as a 4-year-old at 418 pounds.
Trash cans.
No, he was a desert bear. He didn't go and cause any problems or nothing. He was a pretty decent bear, but I killed him as a 4-year-old Guess what picture they posted in Tahoe when they found out what bear I killed?
Your mugshot?
Frickin'. They posted it when it was this big and a
Oh.
wildlife biologist is holding it.
Yeah, bear killed by
Dogs.
Satan Houndsman, yeah.
And I'm just all, and that bear was mean, dude. He was a buzzsaw going through the dogs.
Yeah.
We stayed up till 1 a.m. putting staples and sutures. I had to call my wife to come down because I ran out of everything.
That's crazy.
And it's, you know, they don't show the picture of the bear where 3 people are standing behind it and we're still in the middle of it. You know?
Yeah.
That
Well,
bear had that bear was almost a 7-foot square.
Big
Huge.
fat bear.
Yeah, 20-inch skull.
I had a guy. Let me see what Rowdy says here. I'll be honest. As soon as I finish feeding, I had a guy tell me, "Hey, this guy killed a bear. He's driving this truck." He told me what kind of truck, and I met up with this guy. He said it's a little tiny bear. It's 50 pounds, little bear. I bumped into this guy, and I'm not one to beat around the bush. I'm like, "Hey, you killed a bear yesterday?" He goes, "Yeah." I said, "Was it a 50-pound bear?" He said, "No." "Did a guy in this truck tell you?" I'm like, "Yeah." He says, "We already skinned it. It was sitting in between my toolbox and rail on his flatbed. So he had the head, the skin kind of piled up and his paws hanging off." He said, "It looked like a 50-pound bear because it was all bunched up."
Yep.
It's the highest human populated area ever. Colorado wolf release is in the highest human populated area ever. Well, I think they need to turn them loose in those cities where all them wolf lovers hang out.
Mm-hmm.
Once they start doing damage in the cities, like dragging off Fifi the cat and, Poofy the poodle, then they get mad. It's just like when those kids are attacked in California or people are attacked by the lions. Them lovers.
They almost. Did you hear about that gal in Southern? This was years ago, probably 4 or 5 years ago. A mom was at home with her kids. I think it was during COVID. And a mountain lion came in and tried dragging off her 9-year-old kid out of her own yard. They brought child protective. The antis had child protective services show up.
Was that in Arizona or California?
California.
Yeah, California mom saves 5-year-old son from mountain lion. That sound familiar?
I think the kid was older, but it was around that age.
2 years ago, the woman struck and punched mountain lion till it reached her son. The mountain lion was tracked down and killed.
And then they had child protective services show up.
Oh, it's California. What do you expect?
Because she was neglecting her kid.
I am absolutely, I will say this on record, 100% not a fan of child protective services or any organization, whatever they want to call themselves, DPS, DSP, CPS, whatever they're most of those investigators are worthless, and most of those agents that enforce any of that are worthless. Mm-hmm. Just so everybody knows, I do not like CPS. I think they need to outsource their investigations because those people are idiots. And how about you get people who have kids too? That'd be nice.
Yeah. Well, it's just I went to law enforcement school for half a semester, 9 weeks, and I dropped out. I was a little bit too rebellious and
didn't like authority.
Didn't
like authority.
I did not like the militaristics part of it. I was kind of a little bit, I was 19, so I kind of want to do my own thing. But the majority of it was the class I was with, too. There's 20 of us. And all of them, besides me and my roommate, seemed like military dropouts that we made fun of in high school. Like these guys are 19 to 21 years old buzz cuts, and you know for a fact that they just sit in their rooms and read about how to be a cop online.
Yes.
And you get them, and I couldn't handle it. It was just the maturity level with reality was just not there. And I'm not talking bad about the police department. I'm just saying what they have to choose from.
It's the same with the military, man. I tell you what, there's only about 20% of the people in the military that are actually intelligent enough to do any kind of leading. There are some strange people in the military, and it's everywhere. It's everywhere. I was barely 18 years old, Pinal County Sheriff's Office, and I was teaching deputies and Border Patrol agents how to man track.
Mm-hmm.
That's what me and my dad did. We give big classes on man tracking.
Okay.
A little something you should know if you're a Border Patrol agent. You know, keep your eye open. So,
well, it's just like, excuse me, it's just like normal hunters. They can't even follow a blood trail, let alone a hoof track.
Oh, yeah. In the snow.
Yeah. I mean, you know, first thing they do after they cripple an animal is they walk it, you know, they try to walk, you know, follow the trail, and then they always claim they lose it.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, no one's looking high enough when they're blood trailing.
Yeah.
But the next thing they do is get into phone service and they call a dog instantly.
Yep.
The
Late, but man,
just well, going off on a tangent now. Just the art of hunting and doing stuff as a man is just not there anymore.
so that's a fact. My 9-year-olds, I'm kind of hard on them, but I have videos of them unloading hay. They're 9. They could drive my truck. Like,
Yeah.
I could leave them home with my 5-year-old and 5-year-old twins, and they'll take care of them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they know the rules, but they don't. They get to play their tablets, usually at night, or if I need 10 minutes of quiet time. I was out fishing when I was 14. I was tracked by a mountain lion all the way back to camp. I'm going to tell anybody here that's been out in the woods, especially archery deer hunters or deer hunters, but archery deer hunters that are walking out in the woods looking for your deer. Where are you at? You're in deer country, right? What is it else? Where do lions hang out? Deer country. And I would guarantee you, if you've been a hunter for the last 20 years, you've been within 30 yards, if not closer, of a mountain lion more than 5 times. I've ran dogs in Yucca, Arizona, come back, and that mountain lion followed me and my dogs for a quarter mile.
Oh, yeah.
It sat outside our camp at night. Dogs blew up at night, and I thought coyote, whatever. I walk around my camp in the morning, and there's a line track 100 yards away.
Yep. My very first drag ground lion, we caught 10 minutes out of walking out of camp. My wife could hear him barking at camp. She was making coffee. She could hear she called me and she's like, "Are the dogs treed?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And I told her where. She's like, "I'm like 600 yards above camp."
So yeah,
we might have walked 300 yards out of camp.
So for all the people that's been out in the desert, hikers, hunters, tree counters, biologists, sneaking off with your old lady, you've been within 100 yards of a lion.
Oh yeah.
You know, it's just like that Donnie Vincent. He's talking about the wolves and how he was in camp and looked over and the wolf was 2.5 feet from him, 3 feet from him, just staring out of some bushes, watching him. Yep. A lot of things people understand is them wolves, they're smart.
You wanna You want to be the Billy Badass on the mountain. Be consistent at killing wolves. If you're consistent at killing wolves, you can be consistent at killing anything.
Yeah, because you constantly would probably have to change up your strategy. You could trap them one day, call them the next day. You know,
you would have to know everything about them, inside and out. Their pathways, the way they cross, what days they cross, what they target, everything. You would have to pretty much be their cousin to be consistent at killing wolves.
or live with them like old Donnie Vincent. And that wasn't even on purpose. I think he was on another biologist mission, and the wolves moved into him.
Yes.
If you guys want to check that out, just type in Donnie Vincent on wolves, and it should pop up a Joe Rogan interview.
Yeah, it's a very good interview. Donnie Vincent. Just Google Donnie Vincent.
Oh, yeah.
I've been a big fan of him for years.
Yeah. That guy's no BS, for sure.
Yeah.
No BS.
I mean, he lives in the Arctic for like 60 days out of the year. Like, yes, it's in the nice days of the Arctic, but until the snow flies, and he usually goes back to Wisconsin or Minnesota, but yeah.
Waiting on Rowdy Houndsman to jump on. He said he had to feed his dogs. We'll get his 2 cents. He lives over in Nevada, whatever you guys call it. I call it Nevada.
Me and Rowdy lived in the same town together.
Yep. There's no wolves at all there, huh? Nevada?
Not over there. Well,
even on the north side or the
Fallon was central and west. It's classified northern Nevada, but anything north of Tonopah is northern Nevada. So southern Nevada is pretty much just Las Vegas.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Let's see here. Waiting for him to jump on. I forgot to send him the link earlier.
Oh shoot.
Yeah. But I think he just got home. Who else did I try to get on? We got Jared on from Colorado. If you guys missed that, he was a rancher and I think he was a guide over there too or something. Oh, what were you talking about? The guides selling businesses, you think?
Yeah. I mean, he said it was because of last year's winter. It really knocked the public tag numbers down.
Yeah.
Is what Jared said, but it could, that's probably, I'm not going to lie, it probably does have a factor, but, the straw that broke the camel's back was letting those 10 wolves go. The elk and deer herds are coming off one of the worst winters Colorado has ever seen, and they go and let 10 wolves loose the next winter.
Yeah. Well, there's not a lot of calves.
Yeah, and on top of it, they're trying to make mountain lion and bobcat hunting illegal. They have a very bad problem for the wildlife in Colorado.
Yeah, them deer and elk aren't going to do very good, are they?
No, you talking about a third of their herds are gone from a winter kill, and now you're just letting predators run free?
Yeah. Well, I think the thing that really blows my mind is the wolves that they took out of Oregon are already livestock killers. I don't get that.
Well,
I could see introducing a fresh pack of actual yearlings, not 20-month-olds.
They couldn't remember Idaho and Wyoming and Montana wouldn't give them wolves?
Why is that?
Why do you think it is? Because they know it's going to hurt Colorado. Montana, Wyoming, and Idaho are kind of like the big brothers right now and the whole wolf thing. They've had wolves since 1996 or 1995, so they're kind of like been dealing with it since, almost 30 years now.
Jeremy, it's funny you say this. They will want grizzlies next because I just read a thing about grizzlies in Arizona talking about it.
They saw a grizzly in Colorado. It's on video.
Every animal migrates. What's that bear? Bart the bear? You remember that? traveled like 1,200 miles. Ended up
Really?
getting killed on a Steve Ranella on Meat Eater was talking about it. I think if you looked up, I think it was Bart the bear. And the only way they think he could have got where he was is on a grain ship, maybe barge down the river.
Huh.
So I don't know. But them animals, you know, some of them, I think some of them wolves in Colorado, they said traveled 400 miles. So they already had wolves moving. And why did they move? Why would a wolf travel 400 miles?
You know, well,
Is he out of food?
no, he wasn't out of food. I mean, they're
It
just
was a
like, why did
female.
that?
It was actually a female.
Why did that young Tom get hit by a car in Pennsylvania when it traveled out of South Dakota?
Yeah.
They naturally have been all through the U.S.
Mm-hmm. And if they don't have food in one area or they don't have breeding in one area, they're going to travel to another.
Well, I mean, just look at a teenager, like, you know, just call him a problem teenager, I guess.
Yeah.
Whatever. Parents kick him out at 16, whatever. Has no friends. What are you going to do?
You're going to travel next place that takes you.
Yeah, you're going to pull stakes and you're out, you know?
Yep.
Shoot, one of the guys I worked with, he was what are those people that ride the trains?
Conductors?
Hobo.
The hobos?
He rode the rails for 4 years from Vegas, Southern California, up to Oregon, Washington, down into Utah. He had some great stories, but yeah, he's like, my parents kicked me out. I was on the streets. I ran away from a foster home, and, you know, I hated foster care, so I just jumped on a train in Vegas, and I never came back for a while.
My first wife, I got mad, jumped out of the car, and I jumped on a train, ended up in Gila Bend.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, went and got some food, a gallon of water, jumped on another train, ended up 5 miles out of town, and then deputy friend of mine brought me back.
Gila Bend's a bad place to be in the summer.
It was summer too. I'm not gonna lie. I don't admit this much, but I got family over in Gila Bend.
Oh man, it is. I thought Tucson was hot.
Bullhead City, buddy. Don't go to Bullhead City in the summer.
No.
Horrible hot. What else is going on? I thought Rowdy was going to make it. I don't think he's going to make it on. Too busy feeding his dogs.
Nothing. Just trying to prepare myself for this snow hunt.
Yeah, it's supposed to snow Friday and Saturday.
Well, they already got like 8 inches.
Yep. Oh, yeah, all the mountain lion hunters are there.
Oh, yeah.
Snow hunters.
So
I was there for the week last week, and I went out, and it just... I ended up shooting squirrels and letting Stinker get on some squirrels, and I don't know. I'm not a big snow hunter anymore at all. I never really was. I was when I first got started, and if I had some pups with me, so if I'd have found a track, I would have let my pups. But shoot, I found a fresh dead coon this afternoon on my way home, so I'm gonna take it out and drag it for my for Stinker, and I got a Mirazi.
Do you want the best thing for young dogs?
Mm-hmm.
And actually teaching young dogs how to trail and play the game, and because a lot of guys, you know, they get excited when the dog starts treeing.
Mm-hmm.
I can get a border collie to bark at something in one of these trees down here.
Mm-hmm.
The biggest thing is, and I noticed this when I hunted snow to the dirt, is what happens when you turn an experienced dog out in the snow. They're gone in a minute and a half, out of here, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Them pups don't have legs like those big dogs, or the lungs. They fall out of races so much in the snow, it's frustrating. Now
I like to walk them out.
Yeah, I do not like to have any contact with my puppies. Like, I pet them when I feed them, and I don't neglect them, but I try to teach them that the big dogs are where the fun's at.
Yeah.
not me. Don't come to me expecting me to hold your hand.
No, I got
And
it. I
so
got you.
I started dirt hunting a lot in Nevada, and those puppies just hang out with the big dogs, and they kind of get guilty by association. They start, especially when the track goes from being really slow to starting to heat up, and the dogs start barking a lot, then puppies start getting excited and putting their nose in where everyone else is putting their nose in. And then
lead by example, right?
yeah. And just curiosity, what are those guys doing? What are they doing?
Mm-hmm.
Why are they so excited? This and that. And next thing you know, that dog's 8-9 months old, a year old, and it's off with the big dogs, and you don't have to worry about it. He knows the party's out where the barking is. Where in the snow, I fought it for years in the snow.
Yeah.
You turn the big dogs loose, you cut them out, and then you cut a road or canyon across, and the dogs are barking. You turn the puppy loose, and the puppy goes 600 yards to the big dogs and then turns around.
Yeah.
And
But that's part of paying attention to your dogs too.
it is.
You know
And
what I mean?
hunting the dirt, you learn what everyone does.
Yeah.
Instead of looking at your handheld because the dogs are 6 miles away or 2 miles away or half mile away and you can't see them, whatever.
Yeah.
When you're 100 to 200 yards behind the dogs, the majority of the day they're barking. You get to learn on who's the stud and who's the not.
Well, that's why I was always adamant about people getting a puppy and training it first.
I would say
just so they learn their dog.
Yes, get a started dog that will bark. You see videos of it trailing, even if it's in the snow trailing, and it's barking at game. My first dog was started. He saw 20 bobcats. He saw 20 bobcats. He was a year and a half old. Oh,
Cheater.
whatever.
Cheater.
Next thing you know, I'm trying to dry ground lion hunt with this, snow hunt. That didn't work.
Yeah.
And it seemed like it was. I remember it. It was opening day in Montana, and I actually cut a lion track. And I cut that dog loose, and he took that track like a champ. I thought I had the world's greatest dog.
Yeah.
And he's trailing, and he's putting his head in that lion's track and blowing the top off the trees, just going. And all of a sudden, I see a herd of 6 doe mule deer just take off right into the left. And next thing you know, he's not trailing that lion anymore. He's gone, champ. And
yeah, when you tell your kids to clean their room and they find Legos, they're gonna play with the Legos.
Exactly. And man, I trailed deer in the dirt, in the snow, all that stuff for years.
Yeah.
And a lot of it, how I actually started catching lions was I just found a lion track. I was hiking behind the dogs.
Making sure they were staying on it.
Yeah. And they were much more better tone broke by then because I think bone was 2.5 when we caught my very first lion.
Yeah.
I went out with an old timer one time and we caught a bobcat together the first year. But then next year, I don't remember have you ever followed Von Nielsen on Instagram? An old lion. He might be dead now. He was a paraplegic. He was a paraplegic from a snowmobile accident from looking for lion tracks in the dark.
Oof.
And he's the one, because obviously new guy on the block. No one knows who I am. No one's gonna tell me what to do. I called guys I bought a pup from. How do I get the dogs to do this? I had 2 dogs. Just hunt them. Well, how do I hunt them? And everyone has the same saying: just wear out boots.
Yeah. All you can do.
But there's a way to do it.
I think you have to make some mistakes so you kind of know. That's why I always say try to start your own dog, because you got to learn the mistakes. You know.
You do. But Von Nielsen, just with the simple stuff of showing me on like what an elk track looks like, or like how it he described how it looked like when dogs were trailing elk or deer compared to a lion or a bobcat. Just that type of stuff. And then you start paying attention to it, because otherwise you're just watching your dogs bark and you have no clue what's on the other end. They just come back empty-handed, you know? Until until you do stumble across the short end of a lion track and you're like, holy shit, okay.
That's the good thing about those GPS. I learned a lot about my dogs when I first got my GPS and watched them. You know when they're on a bear, you know if they're trailing a lion, you know if they're chasing deer or elk. You know, you're at least 75% sure.
Yes.
You know if it's a coyote when they're doing 3,000 miles an hour straight line as fast as they can go. And don't stop.
Yep.
So
I remember I used to have bad coyote running dogs, and I couldn't figure out coyotes in the desert to save my soul in Nevada until them coyotes, dogs start getting close. Those coyotes will turn around like a decoy dog and start barking at the hounds.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when you're just like, all right, I know what we're doing now.
Zip, 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 zip.
Yep. Yep. Everyone's going to start crying here in about a second and a half. Oh, what's she doing now?
Rowdy, he decided to show up at the very end.
What's that?
At the very end.
The very end. Shoot. That's on time for me.
Right. Hey, get home.
What have you been up to there, Rowdy?
Oh, well, I went out hunting the other day and I realized that my rear axle was leaking, the axle shaft seal, so I've been replacing that all day.
Oh, you don't have to replace it. You just put more oil in it. That way it keeps it clean all the time.
Yep. Yeah, you never have to worry about it going bad.
Nope.
Yeah.
Always fresh. Always fresh.
Takes all the metal shavings with it, too.
Exactly.
Yep.
So you've been catching anything, trailing anything?
No, I haven't really been hunting. Ran out of money there for the last couple of weeks.
Christmas. Good old Christmas.
Yeah. It got me good this year.
Jehovah Witness is the way to go, brother. Jehovah Witness. No birthdays, no Christmas.
Shoot. Maybe I'm going to convert here now this year.
Oh, man. I threaten it every year.
You could be a terrible family member like me and just go to the mountains.
for the 2 weeks. The week before the end of the year and the week after. That way they can't get hold of you.
My wife, we went to the buffet at the casino and had Christmas dinner because I'm not gonna go see my family and she wasn't gonna go see hers, and I'm like, perfect. We're gonna hang out at the casino, have a couple cocktails, and then
you're probably cheaper to spend money there.
Oh, it's a lot cheaper than a Christmas present. I know that much.
Yep. Well, we've been talking about wolves for the last hour, Rowdy. Not very many people say good things about them.
Oh.
Yeah, dude, Colorado.
I forgot about the time difference. It's 5 o'clock here.
Oh.
5:15.
Gotcha. I forgot you guys changed back.
Yeah, it gets me all screwed up.
Yeah. Well, as long as we got to see your pretty face the last 10 minutes, that's all that matters.
Oh, yeah.
Just your presence. Right. Just your presence.
You should be what's that term? You should be I don't know. I can't think of it. I'm tired. But
it's probably good you're not going to be on for the next hour then.
Right.
Yeah, I forgot you guys were an hour behind us now.
Yeah, I forgot I was an hour behind you too. So
no, we just talked crap about wolves. Had a rancher on from Colorado.
Yeah.
So that old Colorado thing's just kind of BS. So
they just put some on the ground, right? Like 5 or something.
Yep.
What they give out the location where?
They did finally, but Grand County. I think Grand County is what it was.
Okay.
But
that's
out of the 10 wolves that are there, there's only 2 of them that haven't killed livestock.
already.
No, from Oregon. They
Oh, really?
transplanted. They transplanted
They gave him the problem
livestock
wolves.
killer. Yeah, exactly right. Here's this. Here, take your kid back. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's what kind of drives me crazy. Is they're already just they're killers. They're already killers. You know, they've killed cattle and calves and just everything.
Yep.
So
Yep.
So I would be a little angry if they, if you gave me a dog that bit people,
Right.
So
Yep.
here's a dog to rehome, and then not mention, oh, by the way, they bites kids. And you got 10 kids at home, so.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. What do you think's gonna happen?
It's a
Kid's
mess.
gonna freaking lose an eye or something.
And what's funny? There's nothing when the federal government steps in and says you're doing it, you have to do it, which is absolutely ridiculous. But they did do a ballot initiative, and people voted it in. But these people sitting in apartments, they don't know nothing that's going. They don't have no clue. They see that cute little bring the howl back,
Yeah,
and they don't
lots of opinions on those kind of people.
So they eat that 3D printed meat, I guess, wherever it comes from. It's just ridiculous.
3D printed meat. That sounds pretty freaking gross.
You haven't seen that? Look it up.
I don't think so.
Look it up. Beautiful marbling.
I've heard of like the Beyond Meat. That I've seen, ads for that. But
yeah, look up 3D printed meat. So
I'll have to look that up now.
But yeah,
you guys ever heard of that? Well, I heard about it on Blood Origins podcast. He had these two guys on there. They're talking about genetically modifying predators so that they don't want to eat meat anymore. And they're like, yeah, well, we know it won't happen, in the next 1,000 years, but in like 100,000 years. So everybody give us money, and we're going to start working on trying to genetically
decarnivalize, I guess.
Yeah, decarnivore or something like that.
Decarnivalize the predator.
People are not just gullible, but they're
science.
I mean, some people are just stupid.
Science is a double-edged sword. Science is a double-barrel shotgun with a barrel pointing forward and a barrel pointed back. It can hurt you.
Which trigger are you going to pull?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's what he's saying. There's like $100,000 fines for killing a wolf in Colorado, but go molest a kid and you're only in jail for 4 years.
Yeah, if that. If you're a politician, then nothing ever happens.
Jared Service took a crap. Yeah, so that's what we talked about.
Yeah, sorry about not being on time. I forgot it was.
I forgot you was an hour behind you. We'll get you on another time.
Oh.
You working next Wednesday?
I should be. Yeah. I took this week off. The wife was sick, so.
Oh. Well, that's when you work. So
get away from it. No, she was bad sick in bed with a bad migraine plus the flu.
She COVID out or just bad flu? There's a lot of that going out.
I don't know.
Around. My daughter got sick.
Yeah, my wife's not one to lay in bed. She was in bed for a day and a half, so it was hitting her pretty hard.
She better now?
No, she's still sick, but the migraine went away, so she's up, can't hardly talk, can't
bad migraine, like a bad toothache. Can't deal with it.
No, it's debilitating.
Get in there and give her a shot of whiskey. She'll be all right.
I drank it all. That's probably why I'm not sick.
It probably is. I had to stay drunk to deal with it. So, well, how'd your Christmas and New Year's go? Everything go good?
Yeah, it was. Oh, Christmas is pretty good. I let the wife go and visit family, and I worked up until Christmas Eve. I got off Christmas Eve, but to save money because
Yeah.
Christmas hit us so hard, I came home and fed animals while she was out visiting family, and then she came home a couple days later, like 2 days after Christmas, and
Yeah.
I got to go hunting 1 day since then, or 2 days since then, and 2 days. So yesterday, it was yesterday, day before yesterday, I went out and
Nothing.
cut,
How's the
cut one
weather
track.
over there?
It's been warm and dry.
Yeah.
We
Same
just
here.
had a storm roll in yesterday evening, last night, so we've got snow on the hills around me. But I should be at work today. I'm probably gonna head off to work at. I'll probably leave at like 3 a.m.
Yeah.
to get to work, as long as the roads are open.
Yeah.
So
It's funny how if the roads are closed, you can't make it to work, but if the roads are closed, you can make it line hunting.
well, it's different. Different, you know. I don't have to fight a highway patrolman to get through.
Oh, that's fact. That's fact.
So
Yeah, I did some elk hunting last week. About it.
Did-
I went out. I took the
Yeah?
dogs with me in case we cut a track. Oh no, man, they
no.
wiped out the elk pretty good in my area with that over the counter hunt. You know, we didn't hunt real hard,
Oh,
but we're gonna hit that over the counter hunt anyways here in a couple months. So it's
I
a
haven't
lot
elk
funner.
hunted in a few years. I think it's 2017 or 2016, maybe the last time I went elk hunting. It's been a
Yeah,
minute.
no, we're I got a bunch of bear meat in the freezer, but we're like almost out of elk meat, so we'll tear it up
Yeah.
on the over the counter hunts. Yeah, I haven't poached in a while. You know, son's becoming a game warden. I got to quit doing that, I guess.
Shit.
He says I'm his first ticket anyway, so
He knows all those secrets. You're gonna have to cut him out of
exactly.
he's out of the
I
loop,
know.
out of the circle.
We already have. Every time he walks up to us, we just kind of walk away now. We was dove hunting and we had all the dove on the tailgate. We pushed it all to his side, take a picture. That way he had to over the limit. Proof.
Now you got documentation.
Yeah. Well, shoot. Thanks for jumping on for a little bit.
Yep.
I will remind you, or you remind me that we're an hour off.
Yeah, next time.
So,
So,
but yeah.
alrighty. Yeah, I'm gonna.
All right. I
finish bringing
appreciate
up
it.
this rear end.
Come up with something to talk about next week or whenever.
Oh, there's always something.
Always something to talk about, even if it's not true. That's the funnest.
Right?
Yep. Yes, sir.
Cool. Well, you have a good
All right.
afternoon or good evening then.
Sounds good. Stay in touch.
Yeah, bye.
I forgot Rowdy was an hour behind me. I told him 5 o'clock. So he jumped on at 5 o'clock his time in Nevada. So, well, thanks for everybody listening. Bitch about the wolves. It's not going to stop. I'm sure I'm going to try to get hold of a couple other people. A lady that wrote this article here, which is, what was her name? Rachel Gable. We'll get her on. Maybe get a Cattlemen Association guy on. I tried to get him all night, but the one was on a honeymoon, and it's that time of year where everybody's just coming back to work. So thanks for watching. Remember, let me get back over here to help Colorado out, SaveTheHuntColorado.com. They're fighting the lions over there, and now they're fighting the wolves. But the antis are trying to take away the lion hunting. So you throw $10 his way, $50, $100. Whatever they have left over, they can use it to help fight other states that animal activists come in. So help us out, hopefully. If you got any guests or topics you want to talk about, anecdote of a houndsman at outlook.com. I did not see Missy Fix here tonight. I need to send her some soap. What else? Check out my videos. We're going to start doing some Monday Night Lives with Brett. We got busy Monday, or he did. We're setting up some stuff for that, so pay attention. What else? I think that's it. Other than that, thanks everybody for watching, and I will see you next Wednesday, hopefully Monday. Me and Brett will get something together. You guys have a good week, safe weekend. Keep your powder dry, and absolutely stay safe out there.